Hello, folks. This is Dan Bird on Friday, May the 3rd. It is 3:06. So the market's still open. I'm just doing a very quick end of week wrap up. I'm going to jump right into it because I better get out of here soon. So let me share my screen and take a look. Interesting week, to say the least. So I added something to the front page of my website, which is this national debt clock that shows debt per citizen, $103,000, and debt per taxpayer, 266. Interesting, the difference, huh? And then if you click on this button here, and this is available to anybody, you can see the national debt, how much we are, how fast it's going up. Kind of interesting to watch that, maybe depressing, but at any rate. So let's take a look at what happened this week so far. If we go to the main page and look at the S&P, S&P looks like it's getting ready to break out of that resistance level that I pointed out a while ago. It's not really confirmed yet, but looks like it's breaking out, and all of the momentum indicators indicate that that's going to happen as well. So that's good. That's as a result of today's jobs number. The number today was lower than expected, so a little weaker, which actually is good because that means the Fed's not going to raise. And actually, they said this week that they wouldn't raise for the rest of the year. So, or they implied that at least. So that also helped the market. The market liked that too. In fact, if we look at this S&P right here, you can see here's Wednesday right here, May 1st. And at the end of the day, market actually rallied and then gave it all back. In fact, if we look at a short-term 10-minute chart, there you can see it right here. So this is Wednesday. Here's the Fed meeting at 2 o'clock. There's where Powell started to talk. Market took off. Probably won't have any hikes this year. And then the last hour, the market sold off pretty hard, gave it all back, continued to sell off on Thursday, but then started to recover. And then we had the jobs number today. So you can see the big gap up with the jobs number, a little bit of a downtrend, and then it started back up again. So that is all very positive. If we look at this on a 65-minute chart, again, this is a little longer term. Instead of 10 minutes, each one of these is roughly an hour. So there's 6 of these in a trading day. That's why it's 65 minutes. And we're right back up here at this 200 level. And if we break through that, then I think the rally is confirmed, and we may have dodged a bullet. So right here, you can see right at the 50-day moving average, the S&P, all the momentum indicators are just beginning to cross. So that is very positive. By the way, looking at this chart and other charts, I will be doing for anyone that subscribes on an annual subscription on my website, which you can find right down here at the bottom, breakpointtrading.net. You can sign up for the free newsletter right here. There's no charge, doesn't ask for a credit card. We don't sell emails. So if you want to be reminded of the newsletter, just go to that one. The annual subscription gives you everything on the website. So everything that I usually use here is for the annual, and also webinars and newsletters. Every month, roughly every month, I try to do a call with annual subscribers. So there'll be a number of topics that I'll cover, and then we just open it up to questions. And you can see it's been running 2 to 3 hours. I just basically stay on until everyone's asked all their questions. There's also some training here. This is the class that I did last July, 3-hour class, and then some other ones that I've done with Zuber, and then this is Tom Bowley. He did a couple as well. So that's all available to annual subscribers. And if you do sign up, the next Zoom event will be Sunday at 4 o'clock Eastern time. That's May 5th. I've already sent the Zoom invite out, but if anybody signs up between now and then, I will send you the invite as well, and you can be included on that. Some of the things I'm going to talk about, one is I know Zuber has talked about with real estate spending, before you really jump into it, spend 20 minutes a day getting to know your buy box, really getting to know your market, look at all the houses for sale, get a sense for what a good deal looks like. I had one of the subscribers ask me, is there something like that for trading stocks? And it's a really good question. I hadn't really thought of it before, but I then started creating exactly that. So what I created was a spreadsheet. I'll show you this. And this is what I'm going to cover on Sunday. So I'll go into this in a lot more depth. Basically allows you to identify particular stocks based on some of the scans that are available on the website to annual members. I'll show you the ones, how I use it, what my favorite ones are, and then how you can set this up to start tracking particular stocks. You can see the days till earnings. If it's less than 20 days, it's red. This is when the actual earnings, if it's blue, earnings have already occurred. So you can see this one here, AMD, hit the scan just before earnings. In fact, it was probably one day before earnings. So the day after earnings, I make notes right here when these are red. When there's red over here, actually, entry just before earnings. So that one, actually, the stop was triggered right away, 9% loss, which was the same as what the stop percentage is. This other one, though, IESC, has not had earnings yet. They actually just had earnings today before the market, and earnings were great. In this case, the stop moved up to 12%, but if we actually look at the stock itself, it's really taken off. So it's up to 160. So here's the stop. Stop was down here. It's moved up to 150. And I'm going to cover all of this on Sunday. How do you set your stops? What are the things you look for in the chart before you actually put it on a list? And this is a way to get used to the charts, get used to what those indicators look like, get used to the ones that are good setups versus bad setups. And you can do it without any risk because it's basically paper trading. And you can just go through and see how you do. You can put little notes over here so you can correct things as you move along. So we'll track these. You can see I've only just started this the last 3 days or so, 4 days. And we'll continue this. I'm actually going to do some live on Sunday as well. But getting back to the market, it looks to me like, again, if we go back to the home page, it looks to me like on the NASDAQ starting to take off as well. All the momentum indicators are turning up, turning positive right here. And the NASDAQ actually broke out of its 50-day moving average. So it actually is looking pretty good. And if we go to the charts page, we will see the Magnificent Seven down here. And Amazon just gave a bullish signal. Apple just gave a bullish signal. If we look at Apple reported on Thursday, had great earnings after the close on Thursday, so took off today. Now above its 200-day moving average, that's very positive. So Apple may have a lot more run ahead of it. So Apple was a great one. Apple actually is what brought the computer hardware group up. So you can see right here, computer hardware. This was as of yesterday. I update these every day. So this is as of the close yesterday. Computer hardware, we're starting to take off, and it's actually done even better today based on Apple. So that's the group that Apple is in, and it has a resistance level right up here that it looks like it's about to break through. And by the way, you don't need to have a stock charts subscription in order to see these charts. They are available to anyone. You just click on them on the website and you get the same chart you're seeing here. If you don't have a subscription, you'll get ads, but you can still see the chart. So you can see where the resistance is for computer hardware. So Apple is doing great. Some of the things that I added, and this is based on some requests from subscribers. One was one person asked me about bonds. There's a chart I created for bonds. So there's junk bonds, high yield corporate bonds up there. There's short junk bonds. And this is since the beginning of the year. So these are how these are doing versus each other, all starting at 0 as of January 2nd. So you can see 20-year bonds are starting to take off, corporates starting to take off. The short side of junk bonds is starting to decline. So that looks like good news. Also, the indexes, the same kind of thing for indexes. You can see Bitcoin right here. There's Bitcoin halving date. That's where Bitcoin halved. I'm going to talk about this more on Sunday with Zuber, because I created a chart of all the way back to the inception of Bitcoin and the halving dates that have happened before and what occurred after that. So that should be interesting when we talk about that on Sunday. But you can see the Magnificent Seven has outperformed all the other indexes. Bitcoin, of course, outperforming everybody. NASDAQ, S&P, Russell, and then the Dow bringing up the rear right there. But all of them starting to trend higher. So I think based on that and based on where the market is today, in fact, we can actually take a look at on the homepage, actually homepage of stock charts, and we'll look at equities right here. So you can see the Dow is up 1.2, the S&P up 1.3, NASDAQ is outperforming all of them, up 2%. So all of the indexes are taking off today, and I think they're breaking out. So when I mentioned before that we had to see a lower high and a lower low in order to confirm a trend, that's what we were looking for. And if we go back here, right here, you can see that the lower low, lower high, but we didn't get a lower low. So wanted to see a breakout above this and certainly above this over here. Hasn't quite got up to this level, but that's what we're looking for. But right now it looks like a breakout and it looks like it may continue higher. So we'll see how it goes. I'll let, based on what the Fed talked about. Also for the unemployment rate came in at 3.9 today. Yeah, let's see. Yep, it has updated 3.9. So sometimes it doesn't update right away, but yes, it has updated. So right now it's at 3.9, which means 3.74, which means the target that we're now looking at is, and I'll update this right away. And when I update this, it will update automatically on the website. So 3.74 is where the 12-month moving average is. Plus 0.5 makes this 4.24. So we're looking at 4.24, where the unemployment rate needs to get to before there's a danger of a recession occurring. We're still pretty far away from that, but it is moving up. So we'll keep an eye on that, keep watching it, see how it goes. So anyway, that was the jobs number today. I think that's what's driving the market today. Next week will be interesting. It's, I think, kind of a light week next week. There's still some earnings coming in, but all the big tech earnings have already reported. And in fact, on the website, right up here, you can see the earnings calendar. So we can see upcoming earnings. We'll look at NASDAQ 100, Datadog coming up. If we look at Datadog, and this is one of the things that I'll do in the Zoom call once I cover some of the topics I want to talk about. I'll open it up to anybody, and usually folks will ask me about certain stocks, and I'll bring them up just like this. You know, Datadog actually doesn't look so hot. Earnings are on the 7th, May 7th, so that's next week. But they are still outperforming their peers, but it looks like it's pulling back. So all of this doesn't look too good for Datadog. We'll see how they report on the 7th. So what else coming up next week? Airbnb, Cisco is coming up, Applied Materials. There's another semiconductor stock right there. It's also starting to take off. It's right at exactly at its 50-day moving average. They report on the 16th of May, and all of these indicators are starting to move up. So that's positive. We'll see, but this is the kind of thing that I'll go over on the Zoom call. We'll talk about individual stocks and what it looks like to me, what might happen. Of course, we'll talk about ones that have already reported and then ones that are coming up soon for reporting. What else we got? AMAT, Palo Alto Networks. There's a networking company, telecom equipment networking company, had a big sell-off after the last earnings, so we'll see if they can recover from that. But right now, it doesn't look too great, but it's trying to recover. So we'll see what the earnings are. Earnings for them is on 520. And then finally, let's just take a look at NVIDIA, just for fun. NVIDIA right here, also starting to move. And remember, I've said for a while that NVIDIA, about 3 weeks before earnings, starts to climb higher. And that looks like what's happening again. So it's outperforming its peers. The momentum indicators are starting to move up. It looks like NVIDIA might move up into earnings as well. And maybe this will be the earnings where they announce a split. So we'll see if right now it's at 887. We'll see if we can get over 950 or back up to 950 before the earnings date. So anyway, that's where we are. I think things are looking great for the market. Looks like a rally is in play. And next week, that probably will continue. So if we look here at semiconductors, you can see right there, semiconductors trying to make a comeback on Thursday. Actually, this is a weekly chart, so last week. And today it has not broken above the previous week, the big red candle. So semiconductors still have some work to do to get above that. But we'll see if they can make it up there. If anybody has any questions, just send me a note. Be happy to answer them. And I really like getting requests for charts or different ways of looking at the market. I often will put those, like I just did with indexes and bonds, on here. And someone else asked me about silver a couple of weeks ago, so I put a silver chart. I put a relative performance chart of Bitcoin versus silver and gold. You can see gold and silver are both starting to come down. Copper starting to come down as well. So that all might help actually with the CPI report in June. Anyway, if anybody is interested in joining the Zoom call on Sunday, all you have to do is go to the website, breakpointtrading.net, and sign up for the annual membership, which is only $99 for a whole year. And I will send you the link for the Zoom call. We'll cover all of this and a lot more on that call. So thanks, everyone. Hope you had a great week. It looks very positive, I think. I think the market may have turned around. We'll see if it can confirm that next week and continue up. And if so, then we might be getting back into the market timing strategy on the bullish side. We'll see. All right. Thanks, folks. Have a good weekend. Take care.